I've been changed because the angels in heaven sign my name. I am a product of change. That's why I brought forth this message today. I know I've been changed. The reason why I'm bringing this message today is because I believe that we all are on our road to Damascus. We're all on that road to Damascus called purpose. And I believe that when we're on that road, God has a way of transforming our lives. If you let Him. I want to ask you a question. Have you ever woke up in the morning, or you've been driving somewhere, you woke up in the morning and you said you was going to do something, but all of a sudden plans change? I get it. I get that from my dad because he always tell me I don't make plans. He said, because when we wake up, something changes. I learned that last Friday because I woke up to go to the doctor for my wrist. I went out there to start my car, and guess what? It didn't start. My plans was to go sit. I said, well, I'm going to go. I told my wife, I said, I'm going to go at 8 o'clock. I'm going to go to the doctor. I'm going to get in there where nobody else is there, and I can get out of there and go do the rest of my day. Plans change. So we spent all morning, and he had something to do that morning too. So I go in there, Dad, the car ain't started. So we stayed out there all morning, and I had to go get a new battery. Did y'all know batteries cost $176? Well, I wish somebody would have told me. I found out the hard. Good God Almighty. But you know, that was this man named Saul. He had plans. I guarantee you, when he woke up that morning, he did not believe that his life was getting ready to change. I guarantee you, he didn't believe. Let's look at verse 1 and 2. And I promise you, I'm not going to be before you too long. It says, meanwhile, Saul, still breathing threats and murders against the disciples of the Lord, went to the high priest, asked him for letters or wants asked him for letters to the synagogue at Damascus, so if he found anyone belonging to the way, following Christ, men or women, he might bring them bound back to Christ. You see, he had a plan. He had a plan that he was going out and kill some disciples. He didn't care if you was man, woman, or child. If he caught you, you was coming back with him by any means necessary. But somebody say, but God. Somebody look at your neighbor and say, experience. I believe that everything in life has to start with an experience. Watch this. Verse 3 and 4. It says, now he was along the road approaching Damascus. Suddenly a light from heaven flashed upon him. He fell to his knees and heard a voice saying, Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me? So, now Saul had an experience, but in order for him to have that experience with the Lord, he had to be in position. You see, a lot of times we want to have an experience with the Lord, but we're out of position. You need to be right where the Lord needs you to be in order to have that experience with Him. You can't be over here when He tells you to be over there. So Saul had to be on that road to Damascus in order for his life to change. Just imagine that he would have took that shortcut like a lot of us like to do when the GPS says that, oh, the traffic is going this way and it's going to be this long. So take that shortcut, then you go around the shortcut and you blow a tire and now nobody can find you because you're stuck in the woods somewhere.
Say it.
Position.
Say it.
We got to remain in position. Wherever God needs us to be, that's where we have to be. Mm-hmm. So verse 5, it says, he asked, who are you, Lord? He said, who are you, Lord? He did like most of us do. When something happens, when the Lord shows us something, the first thing we want to do is question God. This had to happen to me, Lord. What did I do wrong? Why not you? Right. We don't give God a chance to be God. Right. We don't give God a chance to show his glory in our life, because the first time something happens, we question him. But guess what? He has an answer for you. He said, I am Jesus whom you are persecuting. Hold up. But see, this Bible don't tell you the second part of that verse. The second part of that verse says, is it not hard for you to kick against the goal? Oh. So now, for you city bumpers, let me explain to you what a goal is. A goal is an 8-foot tool that the shepherds used to use to prick the oxen. When they got two oxen that was, they was put together. They was yoked together. They was yoked together. He would prick them to get him to go which way he wanted to go. It was an 8-foot tool that was used there. I said 8 foot, it was 8 inches. I'm sorry. It was 8 inches. Good God Almighty. So, me, I'm hard-headed. Pray for me. I am hard-headed. So, I would sometimes kick back against God. I would kick back against that goal. I thought that my plans was better than God's plans. I thought that what he had for me, I'm going to do it better. I'm not learning the hard way. It says that sometimes when the oxen kicked back, it would tear into his flesh. And it would cause more damage than what the goal intended to do. Like us. When we kick back against God's plans, it sometimes causes us more damage than what he intended it for us to do. When something goes wrong in our life, we always kick it back, so it always causes us more pain than what it intended us to do. Look at me. Verse 6. It says, but get up, go into the city, and you will be told what you are to do. Well, there's a part in that verse that this Bible don't have also. It said he was trembling when God told him that. I don't believe that he was trembling because he was scared. I believe that he was trembling because he had an experience with God. So I think that when you have that experience, just like my wife just had that experience with God singing that song, she was trembling. That's how we do when we have an experience with God. We tremble. Not because we're afraid, because we just had a glorious experience with God. I remember when I had my first experience with God, I was at ECI. Y'all know I like to talk about the prison because these messages is for everybody. It's not just for the ones. So I got to let you know how dangerous these prisons are. So this prison is so segregated that you could be in the prison with somebody for years and you not know you're in the prison with them. That's how segregated this prison is. It's 8 housing units. 4 on one side, 4 on another side. So the meeting place would be church. Good God Almighty. But we're not going to church for God. We're going to church so I can meet my homeboy over there, and we're going to sit back and chit-chat in the back of the church, and it's usually louder than the preacher is preaching. Good God Almighty. So I had my experience. I'm sitting there, they had this pastor named The Shields. He was there. And he said he gave an altar call. Now, mind you, I'm a gang leader. So I ain't supposed to be believing in God because I can't serve two gods. So I'm sitting there. He gave an altar call. My feet start doing this. But now my mouth said, what are you doing? All these thugs, killers, and gorillas in here. But I came up here and I rededicated my life to Christ. It was something, I was in position. I heard something that God had to tell me, and my feet were starting to move. So I had my experience with God. So I went to the chaplain, and I said, Chaplain Scott, Apostle Scott, I said, what do I have to do to know more Jesus? He said, pick those chairs up and sweep up around here, and you'll get to know more Jesus. In other words, what he said was, keep coming back.
That's right.
Trust me when I say this. Okay, I was crying like a baby too that day. In front of everybody, and I didn't even care.
Amen.
Let's go to verse 7 and 8. It said the men who was traveling with him stood speechless because they heard the voice but saw no one. Saul got up from the ground. The devil's a liar. He'll lie his feast thinking he don't love Jesus. He said that Saul got up from the ground and through his eyes he were open but could not see nothing. So they led him into Damascus. And then it says in verse 9, hold up. But first he said his eyes were open but he didn't see nothing. I believe that God didn't blind Saul to punish him. I don't believe that. I believe God blind Saul so that he could be blind to his old nature and God could get his glory. You see, a lot of times if we can see things, we are not going to let God be God. We're going to try to be God ourselves. We're going to try to do it ourselves. So he had to blind us from the old things we used to do. See, I don't think about the things I used to do. My wife will tell you. I don't talk about the things I used to do. I don't talk about the money I used to have. I don't talk about the drugs I used to use. I don't talk about the cheating and all the things I used to do. God has blinded me to those things because he wants me to see his glory. He wants me to see the direction of me going. He wants me to see one day you're going to be a pastor. He wants me to see one day you're going to be ordained. He wants me to see his glory at work. He had to blind me. But now in verse 9 it says, meanwhile, hold up, no, it says for 3 days without sight, neither ate nor drank. It said, and a disciple in Damascus named Ananias, the Lord said to him in a vision, Ananias, he answered, here I am, Lord. He said, get up, go to the street called Straight, to the house of Judah, look for a man at Tarsus named Saul. At the moment he is praying. Can you imagine? Good God Almighty. How Ananias' face looked when God came to him and told him to go to Saul. It would be the same way if I asked somebody, hey man, go down on Greenmount Avenue. Go down there and tell them to stop selling drugs. Go over Emerson Avenue or Park Heights and tell them to stop selling drugs. Stop gangbanging. Stop doing those things. Ananias' face had to be like, are you for real, Lord? Man, what did I do to you? I am so sorry. I apologize. I don't want no trouble with that guy. Is this the same guy that's killing us?
Yes.
Okay, Lord. If that's what you want me to do. Good God Almighty. I'm going to go because I trust you. I trust you, Lord. But Ananias, are you sure, Saul?
Oh, God. Oh, God.
In verse 15, it says, good God. Y'all trying to forgive me. At verse 16, it says, so the Lord said, and the Lord, once again, he questioned the Lord. And the Lord gave him an answer. Verse 16. It says, so Ananias said, no, I'm sorry. It said, I myself will show him how much things he will suffer for my name's sake.
Yeah.
Where you go? Mm-hmm. He said, I'm going to show him much things that he will suffer for my name's sake. Good God, it was confirmation when you said, let me push through for God.
Yeah.
We're gonna suffer.
Yes.
I'm suffering now.
Yes.
I have many people I hold dear in my heart that I had to cut off.
Right.
No more contact with them.
Yes.
Because I refuse to allow anyone to compromise my relationship with God. I don't care who you are. So I'm going to cut you off. I miss them daily. I think of them daily. But I refuse to allow you to compromise my relationship with God. You see, Ananias, he was obedient. He was being, not Ananias' partner. Saul was being obedient. They say he was praying. We all pray. I had people to pray for me. Because of Ananias' obedience and praying, God sent him, because of Saul's obedience and praying, he sent him a helper. Ananias. I had people praying for me. I had a praying grandmother. I had a praying mother. I had a praying wife. My aunties, my cousins, who are, by the way, in the back there, and my sister. I had a praying mother-in-law, a praying father-in-law. I made it hard sometimes for them to even believe that their prayers work. Look at your prayers now. I know I made it hard because I was in and out. I would call them and say, when I come on this time, I'm going to do X, Y, do right. I promise you, thank God Almighty. I'm going to do right. And I come home and a month later.
That's all right.
But God.
God.
This was God's plan for me.
Yes.
He needed me to go through that suffering so he could change me. So in closing, good God Almighty, do not allow the devil to tell you because of your past you cannot change. Do not tell the devil. Don't let the devil tell you because the way you walk in your past, you cannot change. Your past cannot change, cannot dictate your future in the Lord. I'm telling you, if he can change me, he can change you. If he can change Saul, he can change you. There's nothing out there that you was doing that he cannot change. All you got to do is say, Lord, I need your help. Put your hands up to him. Say, Lord, I'm trying to be blind. Blind me, Lord, so that I can see what your glory has for me. I'm telling you, like I told you last time, activate your faith at the seat, come to this altar and praise him for what it is he has for you.